Last question this evening, and I'm going to start with you, Mr. Caforio. In your opinion, what is the biggest issue that's facing the United States of America?
The biggest issue facing the United States, there are so many, and we've talked about a lot of those issues earlier. It is, of course, the #1 priority of the federal government to protect our country. And that absolutely needs to be the #1 priority of the federal government at all times. But we are coming out of a Great Recession, and we have far too many people who aren't able to fully participate in our economy, who aren't able to get a job or a good enough paying job so that they can provide for their families and continue to push forward into the years ahead. And that's why it's what we talked about earlier. We need to have full equality for women to participate in our economy. Right now, we do not have that. Right now, we have 51% of the population who is being paid less than men for doing the same work and who are actually being discriminated against in the workplace already. And then we have members of Congress who are actually co-sponsoring new pieces of legislation to allow even more discrimination going forward into the future. That's a real problem. We talked about minimum wage increase earlier, which Congressman Knight opposes. A minimum wage increase will benefit 56% of the people who are benefited are women. We need to continue having pro-woman policies that allow them to fully participate in our economy, because until that happens, we will not have an economy that works for everyone. And so I'm going to focus from day one on making sure that we get rid of the discriminatory laws in place, and we put stronger laws in place going forward, so that we cut down discrimination of women, so that we let them control their own healthcare decisions, and that they can fully participate moving forward.
Congressman.
Yeah, I think this is one of the biggest differences in the two candidates. In the last two debates, it has been asked, what are the priorities? We've both said the same thing. You can make your own decision. My opponent has said equal pay, Social Security, and immigration reform. All we should work on, absolutely. But if you never say defending the nation in your top 3 priorities, in the last two debates, we've been asked these 3 priorities, and you never say jobs in the economy, and you don't say water, which are my 3 priorities, that's an issue. That is an issue. Defending this nation should be top. It should. With that, it should be jobs in the economy. But we've had 2 debates in the last week where we've been asked our top priorities. We have been very clear, and this is not a cut on my opponent, but we've been very clear that equal pay, Social Security, and immigration. And mine have been jobs in the economy, defending the nation, and water. So you can see a difference. Now, all 6 of these we should work on. There is no doubt about it. But we are asked on priority. And you will always get from me, as I said to that kid in the classroom, that jobs in the economy will always be #1, and defending the nation will always be with it. Always. If you come to me in 50 years, I will say the same thing. So that is the difference. And I agree, all 6 of these are goals, and they are things that we should work on daily, weekly, yearly.
Audience.